Alright, back with another album review. Today's review is going to be a little different because I'm not going to be reviewing a Bush album this time. Today I'll be talking about the debut album of a lesser-known hard rock band called Institute. Their debut album is Distort Yourself, which came out back in 2005. But before I start talking about the album, I'm going to start talking about how the band had formed. Institute is a hard rock band that Gavin Rossdale started back in 2004. And this is just 2 years after Bush disbanded after the success of their album Golden State. Gavin started Institute with Chris Traynor, who had previously worked alongside Bush and Helmet. Chris would also go on to serve as the band's lead guitarist. Chris does become important later on because he would go on to help Gavin with his solo album and is the current lead guitarist for Bush. I'll talk about that in a future video. Gavin and Chris ended up getting help from Catch Tolman, who had previously been with rival schools, and ended up serving as the bassist for Institute. He also brought in Josh Freese to be the drummer, but only temporarily. Their permanent drummer was Charlie Walker, who was previously with Split Lip, Chamberlain, and Helmet. Now to talk about the album, Distort Yourself. Now, Distort Yourself was the only album that Institute had done. It was recorded between 2004 and 2005, and was released under September 13th, 2005, under Interscope. I mentioned before that Interscope is the same record label as 9 Inch Nails, and Rise Against were with that label for a few years. And the album was produced by Page Hamilton, who is best known for his work with Helmet. Gavin Rossdale was also credited as a producer. This album debuted at number 81 on the Billboard 200 and only sold around 54,000 copies in the US. So this album wasn't really that popular. From what I've seen is that this album ended up getting mixed reviews from critics, which makes no sense because this album is way better than the critics make it out to be. Now to talk about the songs. Bulletproof Skin is the first song. It's the only song on this album to get released as a single. This happens to be the most popular song on the album and was even featured on the soundtrack for the movie Stealth. Now before you ask, no, I have not seen that movie. Also, Bulletproof Skin is the only Institute song to get a music video, and the music video was directed by Kevin Kerslake. As I mentioned before in a previous album review, Kevin Kerslake has directed music videos for a lot of other bands such as Rise Against, Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, R.E.M., Red Hot Chili Peppers, Soundgarden, Green Day, Pantera, Bush, and Rancid, just to name a few. I'll be posting a link to the music video in the description. When Animals Attack, Come On Over, Information Age, and Wasteland are very memorable songs, and I like how they sound. Seventh Wave is another great song. The Heat of Your Love is a really good song, and I really like the fast pace to it. Ambulance is a pretty interesting song because this one features backing vocals from Gavin's wife at the time, Gwen Stefani. Secrets in Your Lies is what follows after that song. Mountains is a very upbeat song, and I like how it sounds. Save the Robots is pretty much the grand finale for this album. The song goes for a more of a slower pace, but it also sounds very atmospheric. One thing that needs to be mentioned is that this is actually the deluxe version of the album. It has a couple of bonus tracks. One of them is The Buzz of My System, and the other is God Gave Us Land. And these are actually really good songs. Overall, I really enjoyed this album. I've listened to it dozens of times, and it's a lot better than the critics make it out to be. Listening to this album is very much like listening to Bush, which makes sense because Gavin Rossdale is the lead singer / rhythm guitarist for both bands. If you're a Bush fan like myself, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy Institute. I read online that Institute did perform several other Bush songs at their live performances, such as Machine Head, The People That We Love, Swallowed, Come Down, and Glycerine. Unfortunately, this is the only album that Institute made, which kind of sucks because I wish they had made some more material. But this isn't a total loss, because Gavin Rossdale has worked on a lot of material that came after this. 2006 was when Gavin decided to leave, decided to leave Institute to do a solo album, and Chris Trainer helps him with it. I'll talk about that in the next album review. Around Line's another band called Institute, but they have nothing to do with the one that Gavin was with. And that's all I have to say on this album. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you like. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Saturday with another review.